Sprawl has a big part to do with Cleveland's population loss. While the city of Cleveland has lost people, you have Avon and Avon Lake that have blown up overnight. They're having to put in intersections off the highway to get access to all the amenities, the Targets, the Home Depots, the Lowe's, that are being built just 15 miles outside of Cleveland. And they're building neighborhoods of $300,000, $500,000 houses, the McMansions you hear in property law. And candidly, that's where my age group, my friends, are building their houses. And when I like Cleveland. I don't live there. I live in Bay Village because of the school system. And in Bay Village, I live 13 miles from downtown. But when a property goes for $50,000, if there's a property that's affected by foreclosure and is sold for $50,000, someone tears it down and builds a $300,000 house. And so while the population is decreasing in the city of Cleveland, there still are a great deal of young professionals that are tied to this city, that come to the sporting events, that come to downtown, that they come to the Tremonts and the Ohio Cities for the diversity of restaurants, and they're interested in those things. And when I talk to those individuals about, hey, well, have you looked into Detroit Shoreway? There's a lot of money being thrown there. There's a lot of development. There's a lot of really interesting things, really good incentives, availability for property to build, to do exactly what you're doing. They said, well, yeah, but have you ever walked in those neighborhoods at night? And then the other alternative is, what about the school system? We do intend to have children, and in 5 years, we're going to have to pay $30,000 a year to send the kids to one of the brilliant, Cleveland private schools. And so those issues won't come back unless education and safety are addressed. But because the vacant land will be there, you will be able to attract the next generation of those young professionals that want to start a family. And so I don't think everybody's moving to Nevada or California. I think people are moving to Avon and to Independence and to Seven Hills. And the population of North Olmsted, which used to be all farmland, has rapidly increased with new development. And in Bay Village they have Crocker Park, which it was too expensive to build downtown or in urban areas, so they created an urban setting in the middle of a cornfield. They created an outdoor, it's like a shaker type square shopping mall. They created an outdoor shopping mall with lofts and townhouses and things like that. So people do want to live in those environments, but they invent those environments in cornfields because education and safety. And so,
Matt, let's engage, because I think you just made my case. 4 Crocker Parks can be built, and Avon Lake can be built up more. There's still more space to build out there with public support because of the way our laws incentivize that choice rather than rebuilding in the vacant inner cities. That's why I say, show me what would incentivize a developer to make the choice of somewhere inside the city of Cleveland with a Crocker Park rather than someplace out in Medina County.
Part of that was the essential tenet, really, of Maryland's smart growth policy. It wasn't to impose regulations like urban growth boundaries. It was to say, you local governments, if you are going to approve or you're requesting state funds, whether they be transportation or housing or education funds, you are going to get special treatment for a project that is in certain designated areas of really regrowth, as opposed to out in the greenfields. It wouldn't prohibit the local government from approving development of the greenfields, but they would get little or no state resources in order to put up the infrastructure to do that. And again, now there's sort of mixed signals, or not mixed signals, but mixed results as to how effective, because it's still an incentive as opposed to a regulatory approach. But it certainly has slowed sprawl within Maryland.
And I think your point is, then reminds us that one of the things that should be on our list of aging, arthritic, dysfunctional structures is the governmental structure itself, the one that makes the decisions about those policies.